All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Jelly Roll delivering a testimony at the Senate hearing on a wild substance, guys. All right. If you guys didn't know, Jelly Roll is an absolutely amazing singer, rapper. Been in the country rap genre for a really long time, right? One of the founders, I would probably put him at least, right? And he has one of these absolutely amazing songs called Save Me. That's generally the song that everyone kind of would flock to. If they've heard this song, they would instantly know, bro, this is Jelly Roll singing this, right? And if you guys know anything about his past, he's obviously dabbled in a little bit of the wildness, right? So I think he's actually probably a really good person to speak on these things, right? Specifically with his newfound fame, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into this immediately. Let's go and check it out.
Used to having a rock and roll band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here, I think it's important to note before I start that in these 5 minutes I'll be speaking that somebody in the United States will die of a and it is almost a 72% chance that during those 5 minutes it will be fentanyl related. Having started that way, okay. Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and esteemed committee members, thank you for having me. I know this is a bit of a curveball, but I like a little baseball myself. My name is Jason D. Ford, but to most I am known as Jelly Roll. It is important to establish earlier that I am a musician and that I have no political alliance. I am neither Democrat nor Republican.
Bars.
In fact, because of my past, my right to vote has been restricted. Thus far, I have never paid attention to a political race in my life. Ironically, I think that makes me the perfect person to speak about this because fentanyl transcends partisanship and ideology, gentlemen and women. This is a totally different problem. And I was speaking outside to the media, and I gave them a statistic that said 190 people a day die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry. Could you imagine the national media attention it would get if they were reporting that a plane was every single day and 190 people? But because it's 190 drug addicts, we don't feel that way. Because America has been known to bully and shame drug addicts instead of dealing and trying to understand what the actual root of the problem is with that. But the sad news is that narrative is changing too, because the statistics say that in all likelihood, almost every person in this room has lost a friend, family member, or colleague to the disease known as addiction.
All right, guys, I think, yeah, Jelly Roll is absolutely perfect. Completely perfect for this very specific thing. I can definitely tell you that I, at least in my life, my immediate family, I have no one that has ever, I've ever lost anyone. I've never lost anyone to any type of narcotic, nor have I ever even really been in the presence of anyone who has been within any type of addiction at all. But I will say, though, this thing that's happening right now, specifically in Kensington, where these people are basically flying to Philadelphia, going to Kensington Avenue, and they're just taking as many photos as humanly possible and video. They're making like small little documentaries, and then of course people are now going and flocking to these videos, watching people at their lowest point they could possibly be at, while all of these content creators that are flying over there are making as much money as humanly possible, seriously, off of the backs of people who are suffering completely within this addiction, guys. All right, it is absolutely despicable, and I strongly detest it. But let's continue.
I've attended more funerals than I care to share with y'all. This committee, I could sit here and cry for days about the caskets I've carried of people I loved dearly, deeply, in my soul, good people, not just drug addicts, uncles, friends, cousins, normal people. Some people that just got in a car wreck and started taking a pain pill to manage it. One thing led to the other. And how fast it spirals out of control, I don't think people truly understand. So many.
Guys, sometimes the pain of these things, it may be better to just experience that pain than to ever do any of the wild prescriptions that they give you, because they can become extremely addictive. And then where does that bring you? To the horse, guys. It brings you to the horse.
Truly understand.
Or something oriented to it.
So many people Equally, I think it's important for me to tell y'all that I'm not here to defend the use of illegal drugs. And I also understand the paradox of my history as a drug dealer standing in front of this committee. But equally, I think that's what makes me perfect to talk about this. I was a part of the problem. I am here now standing as a man that wants to be a part of the solution. I brought my community down. I hurt people. I was the uneducated man in the kitchen playing chemist with drugs I knew absolutely nothing about, just like these drug dealers are doing right now when they're mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl, and they're killing the people we love. I'll be honest with y'all, my desire is to only get older and only do better and be better. I believed when I sold drugs genuinely that selling drugs was a victimless crime. I truly believe that, y'all.
Wow.
My father always told me what doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse. Now I have a 15-year-old daughter whose mother is a drug addict. Every day I get to look in the eyes of a victim in my household of the effects of drugs. Every single day. And every single day I have to wonder if me and my wife, if today will be the day that I have to tell my daughter that her mother became a part of the national statistic. History repeats itself, gentlemen. Even in the 1990s, crack cocaine had long made its way into my middle lower class neighborhood. And at that moment, even as a teenager, you could have never convinced me in that moment that there would be a far bigger problem on the horizon in the form of a pharmaceutical drug. And then I watched opioids and Oxycontin burst
Take over. Yep.
I'm here to tell y'all that fentanyl is going to make the Sackler family look like saints. And I want to let y'all sit with that for a second.
So look at this man's face. He's like, how dare you say these things about a corporation that's paying me?
It's time for us to be proactive and not reactive. We were reactive with crack. We were reactive with opioids. And y'all are taking the first step at somebody in Senate finally being proactive. I truly believe in my heart that this bill will stop the supply and can help stop the supply of fentanyl. But in part of being proactive, gentlemen and women and ladies, I have to be frank and tell y'all that if we don't talk to the other side of Capitol Hill and stop the demand, we are going to spin our tires in the mud. Y'all are taking the first step, but I encourage you to take it outside of this room and you take it to your colleagues and your constituents and you give them the most that you can. I know I've got a few seconds here, and Senator Brown said I may or may not go over. All I want to say is that I not only encourage y'all to do this, I encourage y'all to take it a step further. At every concert I perform, I witness the heartbreaking impact of fentanyl. I see fans grappling with this tragedy in the form of music that they seek solace in music and hope that their experiences won't befall others. They crave reassurance. These are the people I'm here to speak for, y'all. These people crave reassurance that their elected officials actually care more about human life than they do about ideology and partisanship.
They don't. They don't. They don't. Because if you listen to how the average person speaks about politics, they can't even go through the day without being like, well, I voted for this guy, so that means I'm this. They have completely became the ideology that's being pushed by whatever political side they are involved with. I'm telling you, for some reason, people are trapped in this echo chamber, bro. I get what you're saying. I'm with you completely, right? But this echo chamber that some people are trapped in is crazy. They need to escape this echo chamber. Listen to something else in the day that you don't agree with. You never know. You may find something absolutely interesting in that, but you have to break out of that echo chamber. And a lot of these people, the people who have been voted for, they are the leaders of that echo chamber.
I stand here as a regular member of society. I am a stupid songwriter, y'all, but I have firsthand witnessed this in a way most people have not. I encourage y'all to not only pass this bill, but I encourage you to bring it up where it matters, at the kitchen table. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. D. Ford.
All right, guys. Whew, jelly roll. Listen, I think I like him there. I mean, I get it. Imagine, tattooed man sitting there talking to people who don't care about us, right? I like that. I like the idea. The visual of that is absolutely phenomenal, right? I mean, he's passionate enough because he's been there, right? He's been on, I'm guessing, both sides of this, right? He's aware. He's completely aware. I do wish him, wish him the best. I wish this bill the best. I do wish that we can find something that can kind of take this out of the grasp of all of Kensington Avenue. Okay. Because it looks wild over there. But I still don't think that it should be publicized the way that people are doing it. Imagine someone flies to Pennsylvania. They land in Philadelphia. They are going to be like, listen, I'm going to be here for 2 days. Okay, I'm going to stay in my high-class hotel and then get someone local, right, that's there. Pay them, I don't know, $100 or so to just walk me around the area and just talk on camera for about, 20 minutes to an hour. Let's get all the footage of everyone completely out of their minds over there, right? And then I'm going to get the video, edit it, send it to the editor, whatever it is, deliver the video, make a lot of money, and literally never give any money back to the people that you just basically exploited. Bro, if you are going out there to make content, you are filth, bro. Okay, you are absolutely trash, and I'm talking to all those YouTube channels, big YouTube channels specifically, and everyone else, obviously, but like these big YouTube channels who are going out there and basically doing the same exact thing My 600-Pound Life does, right? And the reason why people watch that is so they don't overeat any longer, right? It's basically misery, right? How do I say this? It's basically misery corn, let's say, right? That's what that is, guys. That's all that is. The same thing, the reason why you watch, what's the show called? Hoarders, right? It's the same reason you watch Hoarders, right? You watch it, and then you're like, I don't want that to ever happen to me, so you go clean your house. And that's basically what they're doing. Could there be some benefit in it? Someone sees it, and they're just like, you know what, I'm going to stay away from this permanently? Sure, right? But it's the same thing. This is why I don't partake in any of those shows. It's you're exploiting someone's pain and misery for monetary gain. It's sick, guys. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.